From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
You got a campaign ending in chaos, and you got another campaign that was able to deploy 90,000 volunteers to knock on 3 million doors. Guys, the better campaign is going to win this one.
He's going to lose. It's not even going to be that close, actually. So I know everyone's talking about how close it's going to be, but they're just underrepresenting the women, and they're over-calculating because they've been embarrassed, the pollsters, twice.
What are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
He's never going to be president of the United States. Thank God he's not going to be that.
First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
And he's asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, she's going to win this, right? He says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not.
The math has shown Donald Trump has no chance of winning in November of 24. He wouldn't even win Georgia.
Even though Donald Trump is going to claim victory, yeah, within a few hours, you're going to find out that's nonsense and that he lost badly.
All right, here it is, everybody. My final map. But I have to say, I'm not shy about putting 349 electoral votes in the lap of Harris. It's going to be a blowout.
Would people, in the light of this and all else that happened after the 2020 election, going to vote for him this time, who didn't the last time? Hard to believe.
We are one day away from this election, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. This guy is a loser. He's fat. He's pathetic. He doesn't know where he is. He's confused. He's dazed. And I think people are going to see through that. And, a lot of these macho, guys, I don't think they think it's macho to attack women, attack Puerto Ricans. I mean, I don't think they're or blacks or anything else.
If you nominate Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, Joe Biden will win and Kamala Harris will become president. That's a fact. If Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee, we will get a President Kamala Harris. You mark my words. He cannot win a general election. Donald Trump will not win the general election. You can have him win any primary you want. He will not win a general election. We will have a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
All right, this election alert means we are getting to our first big poll closing. Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania, NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes. Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. This is crazy.
Give my remarks to all of the Trump haters, all of the people that said that my Trump was gonna lose. So I say to you this morning, the day after the election,
It's happy hour, come gather round. Greg and Pamela break it all down. Talking politics and the whacked out world. Every headline makes the chaos swirl. It's time for a smoke break. David Justin, Monday and Thursday on Happy Hour. Master Thespian Fields Tuesday Spotlight on Happy Hour. Eddie Duff on Friday with some snacks on Happy Hour. Laugh a little louder while the whole world swirls. Hanging out in the chat will change your world on Happy Hour. On Happy Hour. Oh, Happy Hour.
On Happy Hour.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
The big broadcast is on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACB, Happy Hour, or Happy Times, whatever, for a Monday. I'm your gracious, occasionally trucking host, Greg Budell. Tom Moore is here, and David Blackman joins us in a bit.
And here they are. Can I have some more vodka?
Yeah, the bar's not open quite yet. Well, what a weekend it was. And good to see you, sir.
Likewise. Happy Monday.
It's going to be a week.
It's a Monday.
Yeah. At least I pulled up to the station, the sun started to break through the clouds, which I do not want. The heat, I'm tired of having it sap the life out of me every afternoon.
I feel the same way. Today was a little reprieve. It didn't feel as steamy, if you will.
Well, it depends on your definition of steamy. Yeah. And then, of course, lots of news, leading with the story on Lindsey Graham. And by the way, we just got some breaking news.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
Lindsey Graham's sister has been chosen to serve as the interim South Carolina senator, as the president hoped, and I guess the governor of South Carolina who made the appointment agreed. So we'll just add that to the list of things we can discuss with David. I am not sure quite how the rest of the week is going to play out because I have the surgery on Thursday. You're invited to the Last Supper on Wednesday night.
And you picked Bumhauers for your last rites.
Right.
When did you become such a drama queen?
I've always been a drama queen. How are you just noticing this now? No, it should be fine. I mean that.
Growing pains.
Savor the summer at Baumhower's Victory Grill. They've got some really new and cool margaritas there. Cabo Wabo Margarita, Ice Cold Porch Beer, Legendary Lager, or their new Strawberry Lemonade, Strawberry Sweet Tea for hot summer days. And affordable All-Stars meals. That's a meal, meaning an entree side and a beverage at $8.99. Try going through a fast food place for a meal at that price or lower. I don't think you can unless you're getting a Happy Meal. And even those have gotten unhappily expensive. Help Bob celebrate 45 years. I hear the Millbrook location is a teeming mob. Very busy with people. And I get it. We were very fortunate. Dedicated listeners who came to join us here on the boulevard, driving down from Deatsville, from north of Wetumpka, very far east, Pike Road. And that's always been appreciated. And I'm glad there's another option. And at some point, probably by the end of the month, we're going to announce our first listener gathering at the new one in Millbrook. So looking forward to that. But their summertime menu is awesome, and we will be there Wednesday night for a little party. And after that, I don't know. I want to get this over with. Get it over with. What's new with you?
Not much. It's another Monday. Summer's moving along. Coin Shop's doing well.
Hey, yeah. You haven't mentioned that in a while. But
yeah.
You got the coolest coin shop, buddy.
It's going well.
One of the things that impressed me in reading about Lindsey Graham, and at times he's annoyed me, but for the most part, he's been a pretty good conservative Republican. His net worth is only $3 million, so he must be doing something wrong.
Right. No
Or-
insider trading there.
or he's way too honest for his own good. Think about that. Now, I would love to have $3 million. I would feel like the richest man on the planet. But I didn't meet Brant McDonald until too late. I mean, not too late, but
Could have been sooner.
if he had been my financial planner in the 80s, I'd be sitting a little prettier than I am instead of doing some of the stupid stuff I did do. But
I was surprised, and it's my own ignorance. I did not know he was a colonel in the Air Force. He was a JAG officer.
how's all of this not known?
I know.
There's so much that's coming out that's not known. That he adopted us. He's a good human being.
Yeah, parents died early and adopted. Yeah.
And I will post a blog that will give you some insights on him that I think you'll really appreciate. Of course, we're looking forward to having David join us in just a couple of minutes for the Idiocracy and all that it brings. Let's talk to City for a moment.
Yeah.
While we got a chance.
Yeah, the big thing is the bond. You know,
What's this bond for? Is this for that arena?
it is convention center, sports complex, a couple city improvements, but by and large, the majority of the bond. And just the annual payments to pay for the bond is $25 million. And as Joey talked about earlier, that's about the amount of money that the city is defunding the police department. So if you ever wonder why we only have half of our officers, well, it's probably to pay for other projects inside.
Yet they still deny that and still say crime is down. And we all know that's crapola.
Yeah. I mean, it literally seems like every day I wake up, there's a shooting here, a shooting there. It's just kind of running rampant. We just need the police force. We need safety first.
I met with someone from Senator Tuberville's office Saturday, and he was kind of, going around the state, getting a feel for what's important, and said safety is number one. And whatever gubernatorial powers he has to make sure the city is not wasting money, which I'm sure it is, stealing it, that's number one. The renaissance of Alabama as an entity and overcoming. First of all we promote in this town is hate. Look at all the terrible things we did to human beings in Montgomery. Who wants to see that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to acknowledge and own that part of the city's history, but that's not all of what we're about here. It'd be nice to see some pride. Instead, we get speeches about our racist past. You know what concerns me? Our racist presence. Or present. Sorry. That's what concerns me. The almost sanctioned hate that goes on, and everything that doesn't go somebody's way is, just stop with that. We need somebody who can, it's like Senator Tuberville. I was telling the guys, I saw all the things that went around in emails not that many years ago, 2-story outhouses and everything is duct taped in Alabama. And when I got here, one of the newspapers, the Palm Beach Post, said Greg Goodell is leaving South Florida for the backwoods of Alabama. That really pissed me off. I mean, I wasn't here that long, but I knew, they have electricity and the internet there. Are you aware of that?
All right.
But that's the unfortunate reputation. And then you've got Democratic politicians around the country who still think the Klan is active here and having meetings on street corners every night. Oh, that's such bullcrap. So we really need to join Florida, Texas, Tennessee. South Carolina is the fastest growing state per capita, and become part of the conservative renaissance. And he did say he's bringing accountants with him, assuming he's taking office January 1st, and they're going to try and find a way to get rid of the state income tax so we can be like the others and find ways to replace that revenue. So it's all good.
Be a welcome change.
Yes.
And January will be here quick.
July got here mighty damn
I know.
fast.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the other news with the city is, Jackson Hospital. And last Monday, we didn't get to really talk about it too much. No one wants Jackson Hospital to close.
Nobody.
But the sad reality is it's going to. And I think there's too much false hope and optimism surrounding it. They announced that they've reached a verbal agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield for increased revenue rates, which is a small portion of their revenue. But then the next day they said, well, if we want to stay afloat, we're going to need to propose a property tax at the county level. And it's just like, they get one bit of funding and then the next day they're asking for another. And it's a revolving wheel. And it just seems like it's just never going to end. Our
property taxes have gone crazy anyway. I think your property tax bill used to be less than what you could sell your house for.
Right.
And that's what you were assessed. And now I think they call Zillow and get that information from them. And that's got to make property taxes much higher.
Right.
And they want to raise them again? Yeah. What are they doing with the money they're getting now?
Yeah.
They've done this all in the slide. The city is not transparent.
Yeah, the city, gave Jackson $25 million. The county gave him $17.5. That's a one-way ticket. That's not a loan. That's not any promise of reimbursement. So it's just kind of prolonging a slow death. And it is bad. If Jackson closes, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is going to impact the entire river region. But at what cost can you keep a hospital afloat,
How are the others managing? And they can't. That's the question I have.
Well, the big problem with Jackson is their indigent care. So if you don't have insurance, by law, they have to treat you. And I have been told by doctors there that a third of their patients don't have insurance. And you just can't run a business when a third of your customers don't pay you. You throw in that KIV didn't approve Medicaid, COVID, just bad hospital management, a city that doesn't really have the desire for talent to come in, i.e. doctors and nurses. And that's a mayoral issue, but it's kind of a perfect storm and it's sad.
Well, yeah, because the city can make whatever proclamations it wants, but word gets around on people. What's it like to live there? And if you have especially the hospitals are located in areas that are kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
That's got a huge inhibitor to, attracting people in. What is there to do in Montgomery? All right, we're at 3:21. David going to be joining us very, very shortly. The Idiocracy is a presentation of Montgomery Paint and Body, where your car will get fixed, good as new, maybe better with the Turner Touch. The Turner Standard, be a better word. And it's very high, higher than anybody else's. And if it's not as close to perfect as it can possibly be made, then they keep it until it is. That's the way it works. That's his art. Donnie Turner signs off on each and every car when it's represented to the customer, and he's a stickler for detail. So you're in the best possible hands. And they've been bringing you the Idiocracy every week, quite a long time now, over a year. And we appreciate that. We appreciate all our sponsors. We hope you will patronize them. Let me get Skipper in for our first traffic update of the afternoon. We'll also take a look at the radar and see if the rain is beginning to develop. How are we starting out this afternoon, my friend?
Well, we have a couple of issues as we get started this afternoon. Forest Avenue at West 2nd. That is right near I-85 on Forest Avenue. We have a minor accident there. And if you're inbound to Montgomery on I-85 southbound between Chantilly Parkway and Taylor, got some slow traffic there. No accident reported. We believe it's just heavy traffic, but use caution. Light to mostly moderate traffic everywhere else. We will keep you updated. Get $3,000 customer cash on a new Toyota Tundra plus 3.9% financing at McKinnon Toyota. Add the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know, go.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life.
Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
July 13th is Embrace Your Geekness Day. The one day of the year you can let your geek flag fly because nobody can judge you. So what are you waiting for? Put on those elf ears. Bust out that lightsaber. Start talking Klingon. Warning, risks of celebrating Embrace Your Geekness Day include acne, asthma, latex algae flare-ups due to Chewbacca masks, sudden isolation and or judgment by friends, family, co-workers, social media, and even Yoda. Yes, loser you are. Because, good lord, dude, you're a middle-aged man in a wizard hat. Grow the bleep up. Where was I? Oh yeah. Happy Embrace Your Geekness Day.
So let's embrace our geekness. What is yours, Tom Moore?
I'm kind of a techie, so I'm a geek by nature. My background is in computer science, so I'm kind of a computer geeky guy.
The geeks of the world are making the world better. Not too many geeks get accused of crimes or anything else. They're generally good people who have a very focused interest in one thing or another and happen to be good at it. I don't know. I'm kind of geeky in my entertainment choices. I like to watch biographies and educational things that'll give me some additional wisdom somehow, some way. But it's a day to celebrate you, and good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a geek. Not at all. All right, let's see. Market, where did the market finish today? It was down this morning, went up at the open. Who knows where it finished?
Yeah.
It came down a little bit at the end. Home Run Derby tonight.
Nice.
I will be watching that, even though they've turned it into a clown show. I think they're going back to the old format. So that's my big Monday night plan for excitement. All right, we're going to get some news on here, and then David Blackman will join us. Rich's forecast coming up in just a couple.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A teenager died in an accidental drowning on Jackson Lake Saturday morning. Several people were swimming nearby when the boy stepped into a drop-off and did not resurface. The Millbrook Fire Department dive team later recovered the 17-year-old victim's body. Witnesses said he did not know how to swim. Prattville Public Safety personnel will be conducting an active shooter training exercise at Prattville Junior High School all this week. You may notice an increased presence of police, fire, or other emergency personnel at the school. This is only a training exercise designed to help first responder preparedness in the event of an emergency. The United States Congress is expected to vote this week on a measure that could make daylight savings time permanent. The Sunshine Protection Act would allow states to do away with the twice-yearly time change. Alabama has already passed legislation to make daylight saving time permanent. Congressional approval would trigger implementation before the next fallback to standard time in November. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, flooring tools, and installation supplies. Find it all at Budget Floors and More in Montgomery. Big selection, contractor pricing, and personal service you won't find at the big boxes. Across from Publix in Del Reyna and online at budgetfloorsmgm.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not to sit. An accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed, and make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded on the shutters or fascia? Power washing them and all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue well into the evening hours tonight. The storms will be random, but some of the storms could put on quite a show. Low temperature tonight in the lower 70s. Again tomorrow, a better than normal chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Tuesday's high held down by clouds and showers, 87. And back to a more routine pattern, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures back in the lower 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
David loves these.
I'm Jeff Bezos. Well, I tried to keep it on the DL. Word is leaked that I was in attendance for the U.S.-Belgium World Cup game, and I can no longer disguise my disappointment. We suck. The U.S. couldn't buy a goal if it were half off on Prime Day. And these players flopping on the ground and grabbing their knees in pain. Oh, they look like my warehouse workers. So much so out of habit, I kept screaming, "Hey, get up or I'll dock your pay!" And now I've completely lost interest in the tournament. It's kind of hard to root for any of the remaining teams. It's not easy cheering for a country whose entire economy is less than the balance of my checking account. Oh, I'm so bad. I should get a red card.
Welcome to the world of Idiocracy with Greg, Pamela, and experts, especially David Blackman, talking about all the latest mess. Get it off your chest and tune to the best. Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy. The tales of Idiocracy.
I don't want to brag or sound like I'm boasting about a social life that is unparalleled in excitement, but I went to a fish fry yesterday.
Ooh,
and there were a lot of listeners there, and one after the other. Guess who they're talking about? This man right here.
Oh.
The guy that he's on with us now from somewhere in Texas, Dallas and vicinity, an incredibly astute political blogger, guy with a good sense of humor, oil and gas industry expert, a great grandpa. His cat has nothing but great things to say about him, too. And you got to admire that. David Blackman, good to have you with me.
Yeah, my cat only likes me because he knows I'm going to feed him.
Is that it? I think it's deeper than that. But anyway, welcome. Good to see you. I am not sure when we're going to get to work together again. I'm hoping for a week from today.
Good. We'll do it.
Even if we may be both zooming into somebody running the show from here, but I should be okay, right?
Lord willing.
You're going to be fine.
Yes, I'm convinced of that. And I want to thank Adams Drugs. There was one little medicine that they wanted me to take before this thing happens, and it just arrived. Jim Smith, I'm just flabbergasted. I shouldn't be, because you guys are awesome over there, but still went out of his way to help me out, because it's not a widely used thing. He made sure I had it. So, again, always grateful to the folks at Adams Drugs, adamsdrugs.net, for the 1 year too. So, kind of some surprises this weekend. Lindsey Graham, and now just announced that his sister is going to replace him.
Yeah, boy, tell you what a week this has been. We didn't know if Mitch McConnell was alive or dead, and Lindsey Graham dies, and
your blog cracked me up on the air this morning with the pictures of Mitch doing the high kick in his ICU. That's going to be me on Thursday. I'll be dancing around the
dang right, yeah.
The ICU.
Yeah. So, but Senator Graham, yeah, it's a shame. It's a tragedy. It is really strange, really quite a coincidence that as Mitch McConnell's whereabouts were unknown, another senator, a long-serving Republican senator, drops dead, when it feels like quite often that every member of the United States Senate serves well into their 80s, sometimes into their 90s. Strom Thurmond almost made it to 100. But Lindsey was just 71. It is not, though, at all unusual, despite all the conspiracy theories that are out there right now, for a 71-year-old man who's overweight and lives a highly stressful life, as any senator does, and Senator Graham more than most. He's always traveling internationally, always over in Ukraine or the Middle East or somewhere, to end up, in that kind of high stress kills you, man. It just does. And it almost killed me. How many years ago now? 14, 15 years ago. And
wow.
Didn't, thankfully. And so it's very sad event. And I didn't agree with him on a lot of things, but everybody's got an opinion, and so rest in peace. And I hope his sister is capable of filling his shoes for the next few months.
The whole story of how he adopted her, he served the country, his pedigree, because the media is not going to tell you. They're too busy explaining why Graham Plattner has a Nazi tattoo on his chest to spend any time saying nice things about Lindsey.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of stress, our friend Tom Moore here, you know a little bit about that, right? Jumping in the seat of a fighter plane into combat. How do you manage that?
Training is the only way. You got to be prepared. The Air Force is the best because we train the best, hands down. So
it just blows me away.
Montgomery stresses me out more than combat.
Yeah, it's doing it to me too.
And the heat.
Yeah, the heat. Holy cow. We got something nice rain this morning, though. It's been nice and cool here today. It's awesome.
We've had some good sun-blocking clouds here too as well, but very little in the way of rain.
Yeah, I think our rain comes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday's supposed to be an actual rainy day.
But I did ask my wife. I thought it was rather untimely, his passing and the cause, and she did state that there is no poison or any sort of, spy that could make an aortic dissection. Basically, your aortic valve literally separates in half, and he had an underlying heart disease that was probably not being addressed, and it's rather unfortunate. But I thought it was rather suspicious.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but my aneurysm is in the aortic valve.
Oh, I'm alarmed. That's not, yeah.
But you're addressing it.
But we'll see you Monday anyway.
I'll either be seen or viewed. It'll be one or the other.
What these surgeons can do is miraculous. It just is.
To that point, David, and our hospital, this is being done at Baptist South, has one of the most highly respected heart teams on the planet.
Yeah.
Really amazing. And anything that happens in the area, if somebody is taken to one of the local hospitals, if it's a heart issue, they go to Baptist, because that's where I mean, we've got Hall of Fame physicians there. And they say that's part of the confidence. I just hate that I will be temporarily disfigured. It's a vanity issue. How stupid is that? No, but they have this 3-dimensional model. They show you what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going in through the groin is one of those terms that makes you cross
Not
your
what
legs.
you want to
for a
hear in
moment.
life. Yeah.
No, and I really don't want to look like I got kicked there by an elephant, but I might for a few days. There's always ice, right? So, but the hospital itself, is run so well. All of the pre-op, everything was on time. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was, it was like, that part of it was very reassuring. And you actually, left feeling that, wow, they really do care. This is a really top-notch team. In fact, it was voted the best place to work in Montgomery. Just barely beating out Georgia Flores Direct, by the way, on that category. Now, I did not know the president was going to address the nation on Thursday night at 8:00.
Yeah, that was just he put up a post on Truth around 3:00. Didn't say what he was going to talk about, but the post includes a video of ships in the Strait of Hormuz, so U.S. naval ships blockading the Strait of Hormuz. So I assume he's going to be talking about Iran and what his plans are next.
What did oil prices do today?
Way up 10%.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
see, and I saw a poll for whatever it may be worth on Fox as we were coming on the air, 61% disapproval on the Trump economy. Even though people with portfolios seem to be happy.
The economy is booming.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's just, and it's strictly, that's a function of gasoline costs.
But you're not going to get that analysis on, we seem to underestimate just the reach that the legacy networks and their coordinated hatred for Trump continues on,
Yeah.
We're not going to, it's like half the stuff I learned about Lindsey Graham today I'd never heard before. Not even on Fox.
Oh, I know.
And,
yeah.
And I have a whole different impression of the guy.
Right. But it's because our media has just become such a crap show of sameness across all these channels. Same stories, same headlines get focused on, panel discussions every hour on the same topics over and over and over again. You don't get any real reporting about foreign affairs. You get very little real reporting about backgrounds and efforts to humanize the people who are in charge of the country, especially if they're Republicans. Oh my God, you're not trying to humanize them. You're trying to demonize them if you're in the media. And, it's really a shame what's happened with our media, and it doesn't seem to be really improving.
No.
As time goes along, it only seems to be getting worse and worse, and it's all because of this mad rush for clicks on the internet, basically. So.
It's terribly unfortunate. And then you have, of course, we can make fun of The View all we want, but people still watch that nonsense.
Yeah.
Sonny Hostin said the American flag makes her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
what's hilarious, so funny about that is, she said if she's in a neighborhood where everybody's got an American flag flying on their homes, that makes her feel uncomfortable. When I'm in a neighborhood that's got the American flag flying on everybody's homes, I know I'm in the safest neighborhood in town.
That's my take. You know, I've seen over time in my life Flag Day become less of a thing. I remember as a kid, we used to fight over who got to put the flag out on the front of the house.
Yeah.
And every single house on Scottsdale Avenue in Chicago had a flag. And anybody that didn't, can we loan you one? You know, do you need one? Whatever, you know. Eventually, everybody had a flag out, and as time has passed with various presidents, various history lessons taking place in real time. Well, I'm just a little bit embarrassed to put the flag out. The bottom line, it's still America. It's still the greatest country on earth. And what's sad, what is it now? 71% of Democrats would prefer to live in another country. I will happily pay higher taxes to send them all anywhere they want to go. Just get out.
Create a GoFundMe.
What is your
more the
problem?
better.
You know, it's funny. We always say we're the greatest country on earth, and then no one ever disputes that. You ever notice that? Like,
Yeah.
Russia doesn't say, no, we are. Or you don't hear England say, no, it's us. It's undisputed.
Always get some kind of left-handed pot shot from Obama. Whoa! We're the
Now
greatest
here,
country.
Greg. Now here, Greg.
Greatest country on earth. Let's change it. Yeah, you did a phenomenal job. Where did I see him over the weekend that annoyed the hell out of me?
I don't know. I didn't see him. I was lucky.
You were. You had a good weekend. You did. But I did go to that fish fry, and
Where was the fish fry?
I wish I had my phone running. I should have just recorded all this and played him on the air. Buddy's house.
Ah, nice.
Used to be in the advertising business. He
Yeah.
is a great guy, Don. And there were a lot of listeners there, but person after person, David Blackman. And I'm afraid to say this because then I don't want to lose him. So, I you know, how did you come across? It was like, how did the likes of you ever hook up with a guy with his pedigree? And I told him the story about going back to DB Daily Update many years ago. I'm pretty sure I found you. I think now it's called Modus AD, but one of my favorite websites 10, 15 years ago during the Hope and Change era was Michelle Obama's Mirror, because they did not take her as seriously as the rest of the world. And there was a link to somebody recommended it in the comments section. So I found it, started following, I subscribed, and then I got really, now it's called Modus AD, Mirror of the United States. But, and then one day I got cocky and I said, I wonder if I can get this guy on the show for an interview. And that's how all of this started. And he does good radio. Back to Lindsey, was he initially one of Trump's harshest critics? Did they?
He was, yeah. I mean, God, in that 2016 campaign,
yeah,
he was really, him and John Kasich were the two
Kasich.
harshest ones, really. Lindsey, you know, had to drop out a lot faster than Kasich did, just because Kasich is such an insufferable jerk. You know, he decided to hang around.
The worst. What's he doing these days?
No, he's still an insufferable jerk. I see him every once in a while on Newsmax.
Always looks like he's going to drool. He's got that sad lower lip that hangs, the pouting face, and there's a big strand of drool ready to roll off the end of it, and a little ruddy
my
face
daddy
too.
was a postman, Kasich.
Was that his thing?
Every speech with that. I saw him. This is a true story. Back in the late 90s, we had a president or a chairman of one of our trade associations who was from Ohio, Cincinnati. He brings this young congressman who's just got reelected, I think, to his second term, who was thinking about running for president in the year 2000, named John Kasich. And he gets up in front of us and talks and starts off his speech. He says, you know, my daddy was a postman, and that's like being in the oil and gas business. And I thought, my daddy was a postman. It didn't have anything to do with being in the oil and gas business. So I was really interested to hear what else he was going to say. He never did make a connection to it. But every other time I've heard that man speak, and I've probably been in the room 10 times when he's made a speech, he starts with that line. And it's good, honest work. And my dad did it his whole life and was proud of it. And, so it is a point of pride for those who do it and should be. But you don't have to start every speech by saying it, Anyway,
Let's go
he's
back
just a
to
weirdo.
focusing on the living, and for our viewers on YouTube, this is from David's blog today. Where did you get that exclusive picture of Mitch McConnell and the high
So there
kick?
was an AI video floating around X this morning of him getting up and dancing and doing somersaults. And I decided, I've got to take a screenshot of that and catch him in the right position. And it took me about 4 tries, and I finally got it making that leg kick. I just thought that was hilarious. Just cracks me up every time I see it.
What do we believe about him? I mean,
it's so strange. When I first saw it last night, I was online just messing around on the internet and happened to come across the picture that was posted of them. And I thought, my first impression was, man, that picture doesn't look quite right. I don't know what it was about it, but I went out and I asked GPT and Grok if this is AI generated, and they both said, yeah, it's an AI generated photo. And that was last night. And so I just assumed, well, this is a prank somebody's pulling. But then this morning I get up and his campaign people, his congressional office had taken that photo and posted it along with his statement on their website. And then, so I thought, well, that's crazy stupid. If it's AI generated, you don't want to be using it in official communication. So I went back to Grok and I said, Grok, last night you told me this photo was fake, and now they've got it posted on their website. Is the photo AI or is it real? And Grok comes back and says, it's real. So I don't know what changed between last night and this morning at 5:00. But Grok changed its mind. I didn't check with Chat GPT. I just, I thought, well, okay, maybe they were just having a glitch last night. But it is strange. I don't know what to think about Mitch McConnell. He hadn't been coherent for a year. He's been wheelchair bound for at least 8 or 9 months. He's been in the hospital almost a month now from what he claims was taking a fall, which my father-in-law, who is in his early 90s, had, he takes spills in his place frequently and has had to go to the hospital twice because of that, because he hit his head and was out the next day. He's been in the hospital. Mitch claims he had pneumonia, a mild case of pneumonia. My father-in-law has been in and out of the hospital twice in the last year with pneumonia, stayed 3 days one time and 2 days the next and was fine. He's 92. And not really, my father-in-law has everything in the world wrong with him except for heart trouble. He's got everything else. And so I think the whole thing remains quite suspicious. I don't really believe that photo is representative of his condition. I'm sure it took a lot of makeup and a lot of help getting him into those jeans and that shirt. Because I know how hard it's been getting my father-in-law in and out of his hospital bed. And so I think, they made it look good. But the first thing that pops into my head is, whoa, why in the hell didn't they do this last Wednesday?
Yeah.
But everybody was wondering what in the world was going on with him. If he's that fine, why couldn't this have been done a week ago? It doesn't make any sense. So I still think he's in really bad shape, and we probably won't see him back on the well of the Senate making a speech ever again.
By the way, one of the things that impressed me, one of the little nuggets that came up on Lindsey, his net worth was $3 million. That's pocket change.
Yeah.
For people serving in Congress.
He'd been in Congress for over 40 years. So what does that tell you? It tells you he wasn't one of the grifters.
No.
God bless him for that.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell's worth about $150 million, same salary.
But there's no reason to think the fact that his wife spends a lot of time commuting to China, that might have something to do with that fat bank account he's got.
I'm not saying that, but there are those dots that kind of seem to be connecting.
So the big date with Mitch is August 3rd. If he passes away after August 3rd, and this is not a wish or a hope, this is important stuff. And he does have issues. So if he passes before August 3rd, or if he were to pass before August 3rd, who would replace him? Does the governor pick that, or do they have a spot?
So their law is really kind of squishy. But if he doesn't have to die, he could just resign his seat, which he should do because he's clearly not capable of carrying out his duties. If he does that before August 3rd, then the governor is obligated to call a special election to replace him, in which case his replacement will almost certainly be a Republican. But the governor's a Democrat. We got to remember Kentucky is not Alabama. It's not Oklahoma, Mississippi. It's about a 5% Republican margin state. And so the governor's a Democrat. If it's after August 3rd, then the governor has a choice. He could either call a special election or he could just appoint someone himself to fill out the remainder of McConnell's term through the end of December, in which case this Democrat governor is almost certainly going to appoint a Democrat because that's what Democrats are going to do.
I just got a message that Beto O'Rourke has moved to Kentucky.
Kentucky. That's the only way Beto will ever be in the Senate.
Yeah.
If only we could get Timu Buttigieg to move there. That would be good.
I can't believe they're still running that guy up the flagpole.
I can't either.
We have Ken on line one with a question for David about Senate leadership.
Okay. You're on with David.
Hey, quick question for you fellas. What is the vice president's role in the Senate?
To break ties. He also has the ability to assume the duties of the Senate parliamentarian, but mainly he has the power to come to the Senate anytime he chooses. He is the president of the Senate. So he can go over to the Senate any day of the week and preside over the Senate anytime he wants. But
and he's had to break a bunch of ties.
Yes.
My question is, if I was the president of the Senate, I'd be making a hospital visit in Kentucky right about now.
I would too.
You're right.
I would too.
And
interesting
say,
point.
Hey, go see for yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't
put an end to the doubts.
Happen.
Let's see if he can have a 20-minute conversation with Mitch, just like Scott Jennings did.
Well, I think it hasn't happened. I think the logical assumption why it hasn't happened is because there's been some kind of an accommodation made between Mitch McConnell's office, John Thune, and the president. What that accommodation is, I'm not sure. Maybe it has something to do with the SAVE Act. Maybe it doesn't. But I mean, I just think if there hadn't been any kind of an accommodation made between those three parties, then we would know for certain sure what Mitch McConnell's real condition really is.
They really need to do it to clear the air. Good point.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. By the way,
David brings up a really, really good point with society moving forward is that it's in the future, and I talked about this at church last month, is it's going to be really hard to tell what's real and what's not moving forward with AI, and be it pictures, video, audio, and how do you know what's real? And like you said, Grok one day said it's real and it's not. Even if there was a video of him, videos can be altered, and it's scary times when you don't know what's real.
And David, your Kasich story is inspired a note from Henry F., who says, quoting here directly, Jerkoff Kasich was posting this week yapping about what great people the Haitians are that they brought to Ohio.
Yeah.
He's a total POS jerk. Also, did you see, I think it was in Columbus,
But his
Somalian flag is, somebody put the Somalian flag on a public building there, City Hall or something.
Yeah.
And somebody went up and tore
In
the damn
Minnesota?
thing down.
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with people?
I mean,
What is this love affair with Somalia?
In Dearborn, Michigan, they fly Somali flag on public buildings quite often.
Oh, God. It's
Yeah.
crazy. We're going to take our first break here at the top of the hour. We've got Rich's forecast, look at the roads coming up, Salem Radio Network News, and back with David. We have a ton left to talk about, too. Subscribe to David Blackman by visiting David Blackman, one word, davidblackman.substack.com. It is the best thing you'll find in your inbox in the morning. And you'll get everything from absurdities to titillating. It's all good. It's all good. And if you want to see that dancing picture of Mitch McConnell again,
I'll
cracked
go
me up
find
this
the
morning.
clip. I'll post the whole clip tomorrow in Tuesday's Titillating Absurdities. That'll be good.
All right. We'll be looking forward to it. All right, we'll be back with David in just a bit. If you are looking, I've been with the Clark family for 18 years. They are the best when it comes to heating and air conditioning. And now Robbie Clark has started his own, Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. I got to tell you, he is one of the sharpest knives in the drawer in this field that you will ever meet. He's a hard worker. Had an issue with our unit. He was out there in the heat on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, getting something, putting a part in. I couldn't even tell you what, but it had something to do with the coil and cooling the coil. I don't know, but I sure as heck trust him. He's also my guy that got me that new unit that cut the electric bills by more than half. So whether you need regular service, he does service contracts, $150 for the year, and your guaranteed priority service. Call 334-245-3544. If you need that number, just message me and I'll get it out to you. That's Robbie's Heating and Air Conditioning. Absolutely the best. The great tradition of the Clark family continues into its third generation. It's 4 o'clock.
Well, my goodness, we have a new accident. South Decatur with injuries. This is right near Jim Massey Cleaners. Please watch out there. Light to mostly moderate traffic everywhere else around the area. Not seeing any issues. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka. Keep it here and we'll keep you updated. At McKenna Toyota, they have 3.9% financing on Tacomas and the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Today's show is brought to you by Hot Summer Concert Tours. Is it just me, or does Motley Crue's Vince Neil always appear to be sweating Jack Daniels?
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says South Carolina's governor should appoint Lindsey Graham's sister to finish out his term that ends in January. Graham's death has sparked a political scramble as a senior senator and ally of Trump. Graham was expected to win re-election easily this November. Now, Governor Henry McMaster must appoint a temporary replacement until January. Doctors are shining some light on the cause of death for the U.S. senator who passed away over the weekend at the age of 71. Preliminary findings from the D.C. medical examiner are that Senator Graham died of what's known as aortic dissection. That's a tear in the inner wall of the aorta. It is said to be related to the hardening of the arteries. President Trump says the U.S. is reinstating a blockade on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and will charge ships for safe passage. He made the announcement in a post on social media. This is SRN News.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-744-7344. 866-744-7344.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Pizza Perfect is carrying over the $10 buffet for July. They also have the perfect deal to feed your family tonight. Order any large pizza and get an order of boneless wings free. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet, including pizza, spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, and it's only $10 in July. Available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Buy any large pizza, get an order of boneless wings on the house at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook, pickup and delivery.
And welcome back. David will be rejoining us in just a couple of minutes. A reminder, our show is brought to you in part by the great team at Alabama Home Mortgage. Sometimes buying a house is something that you make a decision. You need somebody to get you a mortgage, so you call 334-567-4223 and watch this incredible team of people leap into action on your behalf. In other instances, it's more of a plan. What's the market? When are we going to be ready to do this? Whatever your situation is, you can't possibly be in better hands than with Madeline and Kim and the great team with years and years of experience. I know so many listeners who have financed their homes with their help. They can also help you with VA systems. And here's the thing. Everybody wants to know, when are interest rates going to come? What's going to happen? You don't know. But when you're ready to buy a house, they're ready to help you out and get you that lowest available rate. I can't recommend highly enough, too, staying away from 800 numbers and national companies because they don't know you. They don't know your neighborhood. They can't answer those kinds of questions for you. But at Alabama Home, they are your neighbors, and they know this area like the back of their hand. And that's an important consideration, too. And if you need money out of your house, using online mortgage calculators is a frivolous waste of time. Deal with real people. Madeline and the team at Alabama Home Mortgage. Again, 334-567-4223. They're an equal housing lender, and their NMLS number is 1586368. I am going to check the Live in Fear Doppler while Rich gets you the forecast.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland. The winning is 24/7 at Victoryland. Go where the winners go every day, and you can be a winner too. Victoryland, I-85, exit 22, shorter. Admission 19 and over.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue well into the evening hours tonight. The storms will be random, but some of the storms could put on quite a show. Low temperature tonight in the lower 70s. Again, tomorrow, a better than normal chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Tuesday's high held down by clouds and showers, 87. And back to a more routine pattern, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures back in the lower 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
Shortwave, take it down, quick. What's it say? Shut up.
I don't know if the story is terribly urgent, but when I see, God, just when you get to have faith in somebody, like Tim Scott, South Carolina senator, he goes and recommends Trey Gowdy, Pencilhead, to take Lindsey Graham's place. No, that cannot be allowed to happen.
That's all we need is 6 years of that blowhard in the Senate.
I'm telling you, when he first became more nationally known, I liked him. He was saying a lot of things I wanted to hear, especially back in the, whoa, Hope of Church. Anybody that had the courage to speak out against whatever Obama was up to, had my interest. But boy, has he proven himself to be a snake in the grass since.
Yeah, he's just a do-nothing blowhard who talks a lot and never accomplishes anything. And
he talked all. This needs to happen and this justice needs to take place, and never lifted a finger to make any of it happen. So yeah, he talks a good game, but sure. But that statement makes me wonder about Tim Scott. What the heck is he thinking?
yeah, I mean, what was that? I don't even understand where that comes from. How does Tim Scott get there on this particular job? It makes 0 sense to put Trey Gowdy in that thing. And you've got all these, you got Ralph Norman running and Nancy, what's her name?
Mace.
Running. Mace.
Yeah. What's your take on Nancy Mace? I can't.
I just don't think you can trust her as far as you can throw her. I like Ralph Norman. He's been very reliable, very consistent. She's just all over the place. She is a headline seeker and attention seeker, where Ralph Norman, he just gets the job done. And I hope he runs and I hope he wins, quite honestly.
So they're going to have a special election on August 11th.
Yeah.
Who are the Democrats going to run?
Well, the Democrats have already nominated. This is to replace Graham on the ballot, the November ballot as the nominee. The Democrats already have they've nominated a woman, I don't even know her name, for the seat. So the Republicans just need to make sure it's a strong, solid candidate that isn't going to, cause them some scandal issue. And they'll win that election very easily. South Carolina is a heavily Republican state.
Why isn't North Carolina more like South Carolina? Is that because of the cities?
You have had a lot of high-tech industry move into the, what are the cities where the universities are? NC State in North Carolina, Chapel
Raleigh,
Raleigh.
Wake
Charlotte,
Forest,
Cary.
Chapel Hill.
Yeah. And you've also had in North Carolina, believe it or not, a lot of congressional staff and people who actually work in DC ended up migrating down to North Carolina instead of Virginia, just because it's so much cheaper. And so you ended up with a lot of Democrats come into the state because of that during the Obama years. And during COVID, when nobody had to go into the office for 2-3 years. So.
By the way, I just saw Senator Tuberville speaking on Lindsey Graham, and I had breakfast on Saturday with somebody from the senator's office. They're doing their preliminary outreach to see, get different takes on issues and what's important. And of course, here, crime in all the bigger cities in the state is a major issue. But his plan, he said it on the show, I'm bringing the accountants with me, and we're going to figure out where the waste is and put an end to it with the intention. We have a very small state income tax. It's what, 2.5%?
Yep.
So it's not a ton of money, but to somebody making a living, that is money. That's real money. And he would like to put that back in people's pockets and find a different way. But I can just, Kay Ivey, our current governor, she's been pretty good, but she's tentative. She looks around, kind of tests the water before she'll join other red states in making decisions or joining them in whatever the cause happens to be. So I think he's capable because he speaks his mind when he's on the air. He's had it with the communists. He calls them what they are, and what you call them in the blog. It's, but there's no question in my mind that getting to D.C. to represent the state was an introduction to a total freak show for him.
Yeah. I'm sure. It's getting to the point of calling these people what they are. I think it's incredibly important that we do that. And I wish more Republicans would do that, because we have allowed the Democrat Party, which has been filled with communists since Franklin Roosevelt was president.
True.
To pretend that, it's just a bunch of good-hearted liberal people, just like your granddaddy's liberals here over the last 40 years since the rise of the Clintons. And the Democrat Party is a socialist party at best, and it's trending now to an outright Marxist communist party. And we need to be willing and forthright to call it what it is, because if we can't call it what it is, we're not going to beat it. And if we let them get away with the canard that they're, quote, socialist Democrats, when in reality, they're just communists trying to execute a communist revolution in our country, then they're going to succeed, because you can't solve a problem you can't name. And they're a big problem. We better start naming it. So that's why I don't give them any quarter on that in my.
There's the difference between communism and socialism. I wish I could recall the simple explanation of the difference. One is by vote and one is by force, but it's the same result.
The communists seize the means of production.
Is generally voted in. Communism is the result of a takeover.
Yeah. I think we've got a time delay happening here.
We do have something going on.
Yeah.
I am not sure how we should fix this. You want to disconnect and reboot, or?
Yeah, I should probably
I can take a quick
reboot
break
here. And I'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll just do a traffic report and a quick message for one of our sponsors. Happens from time to time with all this wonderful modern technology.
On Geek Day of all days.
Of all the days for this kind of thing to happen. Hey, everybody that another place I keep hearing about, Smoky Notes, great barbecue. Last Friday, one of my listeners was there during the show and was kind enough to send a complete description. Brant's going to be joining us early too today, by the way, at 4:35. The incredible barbecue, and was very pleased with the amount of food and the prices and how great the sides are, starting with the potato Swifts, the potato twist, the cabbage with the Conecuh sausage and the kick, baked beans, macaroni and cheese that's so thick that you really have to cut it with the side of your fork. The boudin balls is an opener. Try those with honey mustard sauce, but that's one of the challenges of going to Smoky Notes. The number of sauces you have to choose from there is almost overwhelming, but the honey mustard is homemade. It's excellent. So whether you're going for a snack and a brew or a full dinner, you're going to walk out of there feeling good. They're closed for dinner today, but open Tuesday through Sunday from 11 to 11. And I can't recommend them highly enough for those of you who are real barbecue lovers. They're working on that brisket literally one day early. They do it the old-fashioned way and use time on your side. Wraps and more, great desserts. Smoky Notes Barbecue in the Lagoon Park Shopping Plaza. If you want to call ahead, reach out at 334-649-1110. All right, David should be back with us after we hit the traffic done.
Well, we're looking pretty good around the area, but with folks getting off work, we got a lot of folks on the road right now. We had an accident reported earlier, South Decatur at Jim Massey, right near I-85. Please watch out for emergency vehicles there. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate building afternoon traffic. We're busy all over. Keep it here for updates. Imagine graduating high school with your college degree already in your hand. That's the power of early college at Trenton State Community College. No debt, no delay, just a college degree. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
All right, and taking a quick look to see if stuff is popping up on the Live in Fear Doppler radar. Not that we go out of our way to, but it does appear that will be some showers and storms moving through right around supper time. But, well, everybody has a different supper time. About 6. Looks like it's going to hold off until then. But it's been nice to have the clouds today and take a break from the relentless and staggering heat. All right, I believe David is back with us. Hang on. Let's get him in. Okay. Tom's out of the room for the moment. Dave, you there?
I am. Sorry about
Everything
that.
okay? No, it happens with modern technology. Where was I going to go here? Oh, what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz now with this? I'm hearing things that we're collecting a tax or some kind of a fee. What is this new plan?
Yeah, well, we are the blockade's back on. We're preventing Iranian tankers from leaving the strait, not preventing anyone else. The president did make a post this morning saying we're going to start collecting a 20% fee, and that is what sent oil prices skyrocketing. Why the hell he said that, I don't know. Because he doesn't mean it. We're not going to be collecting a bounty for ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. But anyway, he does these things without really thinking through the consequences sometimes. But yes, so Iran is not getting any of their oil out to the market. Traffic is a lot slower than it had been. Yesterday, about 20 ships got through. I don't know what it looks like today. We'll see later, but so it's slowed down. A couple of weeks ago, there were 60, 70 ships getting through there every day. But Iran has demonstrated yet again it can't be trusted to, uphold its end of any agreement that's made. So I don't know why we keep wasting time talking to them. Need to just destroy all the infrastructure in that country, blow up the IRGC headquarters and all the government office buildings, and just take it all down. I mean, that's the only solution here. I've been saying it since mid-March. There is no peaceful solution to this because you're dealing with people who are not civilized people. And you can't do a deal with people who aren't civilized. You just can't. I mean, even the mob, you can do a deal with the damn mob because they understand what a deal is.
Yeah.
And
they
they
tend to be more
civilized
honorable
people.
than Iranians.
Yeah. The
Watched a
mob is
fascinating
more-
documentary yesterday with Rich Thomas about the mob in the Navy Department in World War II to protect New York Harbor, and relying on Lucky Luciano and all of those people to root out people that were potential threats or bad. And they played a major part in helping, secure the port of New York and areas around that. and they did as they were asked. An amazing partnership. Yet, after the war, who was it that was stuck with the? Thomas Dewey. Now, he was the governor of New York when all of that was going on, and he signed off on the deal. But then, after the war, the Naval Department wouldn't admit that the deal existed, so it left him with a little egg on his face. That and the fact that Margaret Truman said he looked like a little man on top of a wedding cake. But ultimately, he was vindicated. He really did. You know, that's one of the more devastating metaphors in political history right there. But now we're dealing with other issues like, there's Carville ranting and raving about stupid Dem communists.
That idiot.
He just sits in that big chair of his, and at least he's screaming at them.
Yeah, he's getting so frustrated now. He never has a moment, I think, on air where he's not yelling and screaming and ranting about something. If I was him, I'd be pretty frustrated too. He's powerless. He hadn't accomplished anything in his life in since 1992. So what is that? 34 years? Nothing meaningful. He's not even as big as Karl Rove. Karl Rove at least still gets to go on Fox News with his stupid little whiteboard and talk about stuff he doesn't know. Karl Rove, I'm sure, is very frustrated.
Anybody remember a cartoon character named Baby Huey?
Yes.
Because that's who Karl Rove reminds me of.
Yes,
with
exactly.
The big face and all that. And you talk about milking one success for all it's worth. That one thing he did right had a lot of nipples on him, man. He's been at it for years and years and years.
Yep.
Gavin Newsom has announced something I think is pretty incredible. He is responsible for Elon Musk's success. Did you know that?
Yeah. I love that. That's such an awesome line of BS. I've never heard anything better, quite honestly, from a completely dishonest politician than that. That's extraordinary.
The head of the snake.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
He absolutely does. By the way, if you want to join the conversation, 334-272-9228. We're talking about Democratic messaging veering from Doge to ICE to affordability. What is your message? What do they got? What are they saying? What are they going to do? What's your plan? Kamala just used the WNBA stage to put some luster on her campaign. Wow, that should be huge. Yeah, she was
at a game or something.
Yeah, on the court. You think it's going to be her or somebody we're not even thinking about?
Well, I still think it's a good chance it's going to be AOC personally, but she is still ahead, leads in all the polls, and the people closest behind her are AOC now, Buttigieg, and Gavin Newsom in that order. So it's kind of it's a fool's choice any way you go. But the Democrats do seem inclined, you have to remember that Black women make up the most loyal base of voters in that party. And they're all very loyal to Kamala Harris, even though she was such a horrible candidate. And there are a lot of stupid people in that voter base besides that. And stupid people vote for stupid people. And so, I think she has to be considered the front runner, and she's apparently raised a bunch of money already. So people are putting money into her for whatever reason. It's just mind boggling to me, but
let's address the obvious fantasy there. Her in a debate with JD Vance or Marco Rubio.
Oh, it's unimaginable. I mean, God, you would feel sorry for her. Okay.
Yeah.
About midway through, you would just be cringing because you felt so sorry for her.
Yes.
having to still have another hour of this left. So I suspect if it is her, there won't be any debates. Because she can't debate. She's not capable of debating.
No. Walking a straight line, passing a roadside sobriety test would be a challenge for her. And now this.
Mr. Electric presents the most electrifying story of the day. For service, installation, and upfront pricing, call Mr. Electric at 245-1566. Here with the day's high voltage news, it's Greg Budell.
I mean, it's not quite as electric as it was when I posted it yesterday, but I just love the fact, one of the few stories over the weekend that actually made me feel good, get excited, that Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones took time out to bitch slap Bruce Springsteen and told him to shut up.
Yeah.
Stop with the political lectures at your shows. People are paying great money. They want to hear your songs. They're not there for a lecture. And it's great to see somebody in that circle, which is terrified to say anything that isn't woke. They still are. I mean, they did a masterful job of scaring people into a corner with their politics. But Mick Jagger's in his 80s. He's got more money than God, and he doesn't have to worry about taking a hit. If somebody doesn't like it, too bad, so sad. So applause to him for speaking out against the despicable Springsteen.
It's the difference between a real rock star and a celebrity.
Yes.
A real talented individual and a hack.
Trump really hit the nail on the head at commenting on something that happened months ago, but said, here's a guy, he hasn't had a hit in 50 years. And he was right. If you watch the Clive Davis documentary, Clive Davis was the hit maker in America, especially in the late 70s and early 80s. He was the one that had to pull Springsteen's head out of his butt back then and said, the meaningful lyrics are great, blah, blah, blah. You need a hit. You need to make something that people can either dance to or has a melody that's memorable. And then he came up with the one, and it should not have been played at patriotic events, Born in the USA. It's not a tribute to America at all.
No,
but he sure loves making money from us, doesn't he?
Yep.
Got no problem with that.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Further fact that President Trump listens to News Talk 93.1. He just formally declared war on Iran and said, we're going to hit him hard tonight. So he finally, since March, he has listened to you, David. So
how about that?
Finally
he
taking
been
David's
doing
advice.
it every day. If he'd been doing it every day during the negotiation, he might have gotten somewhere with him.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
Yeah, if you're going to start a war, you got to finish it. And we just been delaying the inevitable.
Yep.
So it's time to wrap it up.
Well, they've had plenty of time to behave, and they just can't seem to.
Yeah. They have shown their true colors day after day after day.
They were going to take break number 2 here. Brett McDonald's going to join us for a couple of minutes with commentary on today's money news, and we will see you on the other side for our third and final segment. Visit David Blackman online, davidblackman.substack.com. Oh, remind me when he's back on. A lot of the folks that were at this event yesterday don't just listen, they're paid subscribers.
Oh, nice.
So I wanted to make that point. I will need that reminder from you, sir. Tom Moore, my sidekick today. Great to have him in the house. And Skipper watching your commute for you. 432.
Well, just about a half an hour or so ago, we had an accident south Decatur near I-85. That's in front of Jim Massey. Hoping that one is clear. There were injuries involved in that one, so use caution if you're there. No other issues that we're aware of at the moment. Just a lot of busy building traffic, interstates, boulevards, and all of our feeder roads outbound beginning to load up. We'll keep you updated. Invisible Fence has both indoor and outdoor systems to keep your pet safe and in designated areas. Call Vicky at Invisible Fence for all the information and details. 334-265-2585. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
1819 News. The chairman of the Alabama Republican Party is calling on Republican voters to turn out in a big way for the upcoming August 11th special primary election. Chairman Scott Stadhagen says it's critical for this to happen in light of the fact that the Alabama Democratic Party leadership is pushing for Democrats to cross over and vote on the Republican ballot and therefore influence the outcome. Stadhagen said it's not surprising that the Democrats are doing this here in the state, since they also have no problems promoting the likes of Marxist New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani and accused rapist Graham Plattner in the state of Maine. The statements from Stadhagen come after the vice chairwoman of the Alabama Democratic Party, Tabitha Eisner, posted on social media that Democrats crossing over to influence the Republican candidates was a way to get even. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
An inmate who left his work release assignment in Decatur has since been recaptured. 56-year-old Derek Brown left the job site on Friday and was located by authorities on Sunday. He's been in jail in Morgan County since May of this year on domestic violence charges. A vigil was held on Sunday night for a 6-year-old Montgomery girl who died from a drive-by shooting last week. Residents came out to mourn the loss of Kaylee Taylor. Authorities arrested 19-year-old Malik Millender for that shooting. He's facing 3 counts of capital murder. I'm Audrey Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
And Terry Adams will be here on Thursday and Friday in the afternoon. Right now, it's time to talk to Mr. Right on the Money. Brant McDonald from Invista Advisors. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, Greg.
Interesting morning. Every time I look at the market, something different's going on. It started out a little bit in the red this morning. The market opened at 8:30, went strongly into the green, and when I checked at 3 o'clock, it was back in the red. What was the day all about?
Man, it's crazy. Last week was a super light week on data. Obviously, you've seen everything on the geopolitical front over the weekend. We've all seen the U.S. military response. You know, when you try to assassinate the president, this is what's going to happen. And boy, has it been something. Crude oil, both WTI and Brent, up over 9% on the day. Huge move. The economic calendar this week is completely opposite from last week. We are loaded, man. We've got a lot going on this week. First of all, Tuesday, we get Consumer Price Index report. Wednesday is the Producer Price Index report. We have Kevin Warsh, who is up on the Hill in Washington, going to be talking to Congress. So everyone's going to be glued to what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, we've got this situation in Iran that's continuing. And then, as I said last week, we are well underway with earnings this week, and we're going to kick it off really in earnest on Friday with J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs. So a whole lot coming at us this week, a lot of market-moving news, if you will. We will be locked and loaded, but you're right. We were down today. The NASDAQ got hit a little bit harder than the Dow Jones. Everybody's taking their cue based on the activities and actions that are happening in the Middle East right now. Trump says he wants to take Carg Island. There's a little bit of risk in that. We'll see because, as I've said, 90% of Iran's export of their crude oil comes through there. I don't know how he's going to do it, but he wants to, and it's going to require boots on the ground. We'll see how all that unfolds.
All right. Lots on the schedule for this week. We appreciate you watching out for our money, man, and we will talk again tomorrow.
All right, buddy. You got it. Y'all have a great night.
All right. Likewise.
voiced in this material. The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
All right, we'll be back right after Rich's forecast with David Blackman for our final segment.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients. From making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly, to getting to know you and your family's needs, and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue well into the evening hours tonight. The storms will be random, but some of the storms could put on quite a show. Low temperature tonight in the lower 70s. Again, tomorrow, a better than normal chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Tuesday's high held down by clouds and showers, 87. And back to a more routine pattern, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures back in the lower 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
And back to superstar blogger David Blackman as we enjoy our third and final segment on our tour of the Idiocracy. David, I've got to ask you about this. The issue with President Trump changing Air Force Ones. Coming back from that trip, did not take the Qatar gifted Air Force One, went back to the original. The story is that the avionics on the, and Tom, certainly you have some insights here. The avionics on the one from Qatar were hacked and supposedly triangulated to Langley, Virginia. And we all know who lives there. We all know what is based there. Is there any merit to this? What
I haven't
possible
seen
reason?
that story. I don't know. I haven't seen that story.
It's not getting the discussion I think it deserves. But isn't that a little bit bizarre that at the last second and without notification he switches planes?
Well, I
Clearly
just
they were
assumed
concerned about
that
something.
They switched planes because they had intel that the new Air Force One had been there. There was a plot to try to blow it out of the sky, and so they just
Yes.
put him on the old one and flew him home. I didn't hear this theory about triangulation back to Langley. I don't know how that would even work. Tom does, I'm sure, but I don't.
The news story was that the old jet has capabilities that the new one does not.
Defensive capability.
That is correct. And so because of a upgraded threat level, they put him on the old plane.
Okay. Well, that makes total sense, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the news reporter that had leaked that story about capabilities is now being subpoenaed.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, that's another angle
Along
on it.
with
From
two
the
of
New
his
York
editors.
Times, right?
3 of his editors. There's 4 people from the Times that have been subpoenaed for leaking classified information.
And are they screaming and moaning and whining about government overreach or anything like that? I mean, this to me it's another big serious thing that really needs more attention.
Oh yeah, they're whining about it and screaming freedom of the press and all that. But freedom of the press does not include being able to leak state secrets to the enemy.
Yeah.
And it can't.
If that's what they were doing,
you know,
there should be some treason charges connected to that. I would think.
If they did it, yeah, absolutely. If it's true that they knowingly did that, then there certainly should be felony charges of some sort brought against them. How do you prove it? I don't know. Whether they can prove that or not is an open question. We'll see. But
well, that brings up Tulsi, because before Tulsi left, supposedly the smoking guns that point to Obama and all the people that attacked Citizen Trump with false allegations. We all know what happened. It was all BS, but the media went along. Most of Congress and the Senate went along. When are we going to see something come from that? Somebody, any accountability from anyone?
I don't think we'll see any of that come. The Senate is about to confirm Todd Blanche to be the Attorney General. So that tells me that they're confident Todd Blanche is not going to move down that road. They wouldn't confirm him. The Republican Senate wouldn't confirm him.
How sad is that?
But I mean, she laid out a very clear roadmap. I mean, it's all right there. There's no question about it that Obama did it, that he's guilty, and that is a treasonous act. There's no question about it. It's really an open shut case. But if you're Todd Blanche, one of the things you got to think about is, well, all this activity took place in the District of Columbia. So I got to somehow convince a 96% Democrat jury in the grand jury in the District of Columbia to indict this guy. And then I got to seat a grand jury or a trial jury of 12 people from a 96% Democrat District of Columbia to try the case. What are my chances? Your chances are near zero of getting any kind of a fair verdict, because Democrats don't believe in the Constitution anymore as a matter of principle.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah. So I just don't expect to see any of that.
Well, let's go back to our hero Graham Plattner and the fact that he got as far as he did, and all of a sudden the Democrats hey, maybe that Nazi tattoo ain't a good idea, and all of this. What's the latest analysis on that situation, and is this actually going to make people in Maine wish for 6 more years of Susan Collins? Not my idea of a firebrand conservative, but better than the option.
Well, I think the reality is that the Democrats don't have a good substitute. They got this guy named Lynch, who supposedly, Plattner supposedly was a oyster fisherman. So he's just a common working man, even though he's a trust fund baby. And this Lynch guy is supposedly a former logger. So he's a common working man, even though we'll find out he's really not. So they're just going to try to replay the same scam again. But this guy, I've seen this Lynch guy video of him talking. He's not any kind of a inspiring candidate. I don't think they have a good alternative. You know, the other one potentially is, what's the governor's name? The 80-year-old governor. The lady, I can't remember her name. So, you know, they don't have a good substitute. I think whenever they name somebody, we will see initial polling that claims that Democrat is ahead of Susan Collins by a few percentage points.
Sure.
And then within a month, Susan Collins will be back in the lead, and she will outperform the polls by 7 or 8% on election day and end up winning pretty easily. But the pollsters are going to try to make it look like a tight race initially. And Collins is, you know, I don't agree with Susan Collins a lot of the times. She's a very unreliable Republican in a lot of ways, but she's a warrior. She is tough as nails. And she always outperforms the polls on election day, always, every time. So,
how's our buddy Tallarico doing in Texas? Is he well ahead there now against Ken Paxton? What's the latest there?
Well, we haven't heard much from Tallarico lately. He seems to.
He was going after the Second Amendment today.
Huh?
He went after the Second Amendment today. Made some crazy statement.
So I missed that.
He said he said that a well-governed militia means that we need to be governed. You know,
Right.
that firearms need to be in. So they're
he's totally out of step with the majority of Texans on that issue, and he has been forever. He's good. There's all kinds of video of him talking about the Second Amendment and taking away everybody's guns. That hasn't even been used in commercials yet. So that's coming. He's out of step on abortion. He's out of step on trans. He's out of step on the border. He's out of step on every major issue with the majority of Texans. He doesn't have a chance to win this election.
No. And I misspoke. I said regulated. It's
Well regulated.
Yeah.
Yes.
So well regulated. He thinks that means regulations on firearms.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Of course, when it actually meant during that time, if you read the Federalist Papers, it meant every male person in the United States of America. That's what it meant. It meant everybody should possess a firearm, because we may need to call you up to defend the country. And that's what it meant. And, you know, it's not even an argument. And the Supreme Court has ruled on that question so many times. It's just so tiresome.
Yeah.
You know, I'm almost 70 years old. I've seen 3 generations now of Democratic politicians coming up and making that stupid, idiotic argument, and getting shot down by every Supreme Court that we've had for the last half century in place. And so I hope he continues making that argument. It'll just lose him votes. It's great.
And so many of the regulations Democrats have put in under that incorrect thinking have been wiped out by the Supreme Court too, which is great.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway,
I think the most disheartening thing with the planner stuff is that our elected leaders backed him. And so you've got like Sanders and Warren. And it's like, do they not have staffers or interns that like do basic vetting, just basic, like, what's the sniff check on this guy? And it's like the more the Republicans disagreed with him or were, you know, disgruntled with their choice, it made them more aggressive backing him. And it's like they just almost wanted to like him because the right didn't like him. And it's just like now it's just egg on their face. I mean, like,
oh, there's Pocahontas shrieking about something.
Yeah. She was an adamant backer of Planner. I mean,
no, that's he played the clip. Yeah, and it was on David's blog. He's my kind of guy.
Yeah. My kind of guy.
And I'm not even sure she's into guys.
There's no telling what she's into.
Yeah. What I don't understand is Massachusetts and they're in it. The fact that they've got a real socialist as their mayor, they keep electing her, shrieking woman who put Spirit Airlines out of business, among other accomplishments this year.
We want our elected representatives to represent us, people that are role models to our children, who have upstanding ethical, moral values, just good, honest people. And it's just disheartening that you turn the corner and it's just like, where are these people coming from?
Yeah. And the good, honest people that you do elect, like Tommy Tuberville, end up getting so disgusted after one term, they come back and run for governor, And
Honestly,
God bless him for doing that. That's a tough job too.
I really believe that his commitment is to serve people, and he can do it more effectively here.
I agree.
Than there in that gigantic.
We need him.
Are they really, really, really thinking about rebooting AOC's Green New Deal?
Oh yes, yeah.
My God!
Communist that the Democrats nominated out in Denver last week or week before last, I guess it was. Time flies when you're having so much fun. She says that the Green New Deal, when she gets in there, her first order of business is going to be to dust off AOC's Green New Deal and put it on steroids, because it's got to be the floor, not the ceiling anymore. We need to update it for the AI era. And, and so, that's going to be her big deal. And she's going to get elected. She's in a 75% Democrat district. There's no chance she'll lose in the general election. And so, we'll have that kind of fun to deal with for the next couple of years anyway.
Hey, the very funny comedian Margaret Cho not only mocked Lindsey Graham's death, but says Trump should be next. Do you think that will have an impact on her career?
I'm sure she's not the only one. I would love to hear what Rosie O'Donnell has to say about it. I'm sure she said the same thing. And
do you know that Rosie O'Donnell, I just read this morning, Rosie O'Donnell stopped her talk show in 2002 because her net worth became $100 million. And she just didn't think she needed any more than that.
Think about that no talent hack.
Yeah. Not funny.
Worth $100 million. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. That's a tribute to America, that even somebody with little talent and some moxie can make $100 million. So why haven't I made mine yet? Well, it's been 11. And it's hilarious watching the exodus. The harder Mamdani tries to create more routes to free stuff, the more people that are leaving New York and saying bye-bye. Yep. There's people moving in to New York City, but they're not big income earners. They're just people who make enough to rent a joint in Manhattan or in one of the boroughs, and that's it. They're not bringing in huge bank accounts that are capable of underwriting or producing revenue to underwrite all this silly, and all of this, it's all so predictable, yet they do it anyway.
In the world, yes.
They just don't get it.
I think they get it. I think that's what they want. They want to drive out anyone who's successful, anyone who's really educated, anyone who is self-reliant and has means to be self-supportive. And they want to replace them with people who are going to be easy to intimidate and easy to control, and who are reliant on the government for their well-being. I think it's the plan. It's not a glitch.
David, 2 years ago today, Butler, Pennsylvania. That's hard to believe.
Yeah, 2 years ago today. And we still know next to nothing about this Crooks guy.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, the government knows. They're just not telling. And, of course, the media, the journalist profession has been just completely, it's had any sense of real curiosity beaten out of it, and no longer does its job in any real way at any of these TV stations or newspapers. There aren't any real journalists anymore. Who are they? They're people like Catherine Herridge, who, can't get a job at any of the media platforms. Cheryl Atkinson, who has to create her own platform. these are the real journalists and independent journalists who post on X, write at Substack.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just don't have any investigative journalism happening in this country anymore. And that's dangerous. That's a very dangerous thing for the survival of the country.
The Strait of Hormuz, he's reinstated the block, but I just saw a story that the former Iranian president, Ahmadinejad, under house arrest by the IRGC after an Israeli plot to install him was learned.
I thought we killed him in February in the strikes.
I can't keep up with all the
Not
Khomeinis and Ahmadinejad.
Killed the Ayatollah in the strikes.
Yeah.
Ahmadinejad is the guy who was part of the gang that held the hostages in 1979 and 80, who ended up becoming the president of the Islamic Republic, and was, I don't know, he was deposed somehow from that office about 8 or 10 years ago, but he's still out there and around. Apparently he was cooperating with Mossad on some kind of a coup plot. And I mean, that's all I think anyone knows about it right now. I guess we'll get more information about that in the next few days. By the way, one thing that has broken is that President Trump's speech Thursday night is not going to be about Iran. It's going to be about the FBI investigation into voter fraud in Fulton County, Georgia. And he's going to say that both Georgia senators were fraudulently elected with a lot of foreign money influencing how the election was conducted and how the vote was counted. It's part of that FBI. Remember they seized all the records a few months ago?
Yeah.
And so apparently it's the CIA director is going to be there. The FBI director is going to be there with him. I don't know who all else.
You know who won't be there? None of the legacy networks will be there unless he demands the time.
Probably. Well, even if he does demand the time, they don't have to give it to him. So it'd probably be on Fox News and Newsmax and News Nation.
That is so wrong. That is so wrong. Normally this is one of my favorite days of the whole summer. Monday, as the baseball season takes its midsummer break. Home Run Derby, are you planning on watching tonight?
No.
They're going back to the old format. They've abandoned this lumberjack thing they were doing where they just keep swinging. So I'm going to give it a shot. Does the All-Star game mean anything anymore?
I mean, I still enjoy it. It's not what it used to be, but it is still the only game of its kind that is actually a competitive game.
Yes.
A real game, whereas the NBA and football are just exhibition. In fact, football, they play flag football now, right? It's not really even a game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, it's worth watching. The Home Run Derby would be, but my son and his family are staying with us for a few days, and we're going to have other things to do. So otherwise I would watch it.
I'll call you from the hospital and tell you what you missed.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, David, I mentioned that wonderful group that I met yesterday at the Big Fish Fry. The people that brought your name up weren't just listeners; they were subscribers.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've got quite a few paid subscribers from Alabama. I get to see their information when they subscribe, and so yeah, I mean it's.
And somebody made the great point. If we were able to convince David to come here, the turnout we would have, the reception he would get would be huge. And now we're just planting the seeds for that eventual party.
Do that this fall when it's not hot as hell.
Oh yeah, no, come to Montgomery and cool off. It's only 98 here, as opposed to Dallas where it's 104.
I want to go to Baumhauer's and get dinner.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. It'll be the biggest it'll be the social event of the season.
There you go.
So I'm planting that seed now. David, thank you as always for your time, man.
All right. You have good luck in the hospital. It's going to be fine. You're going to be good as new.
And the guy that's the guy that sponsors our Idiocracy, that's his motto. Donnie Turner from Montgomery Paint Body. Good as new, maybe better.
Maybe better. Who knows?
But,
Look what they've done for Mitch McConnell at that hospital.
But just so you know, Rich Thomas, the weather guy, you're on his notification list. So if you see his number or name turn up on your phone, it's probably not good news.
He's not calling about the Texas weather.
No. David, thank you, my friend. You're the best. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Okay. Wow, that is radio time that goes by awfully quick. And thank you.
Yeah, it's good to be here
today. One of the things they're trying to help me with before this surgery is to get rid of they got a small infection and they're treating it with antibiotics, but it's slowed me down some. When your body's fighting any kind of an infection, it, saps you of a little energy. Oh, there's Mitch in the hospital with his Chinese wife. She looks so happy that she had to fly all the way back from China just to pose for a picture. Weirdness, man, but that's why we explore the Idiocracy. Okay, we are at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We have SRN News coming up, Wall Street Business, but before we do any of that, we're going to check in with Skipper, see how your commute's going. See you in a few minutes.
Well, folks getting off work, and the roads are really beginning to build. I-65 at 85, all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery, light to mostly moderate traffic at our busiest, Troy Highway 231 to Wetumpka, Highway 80 to Selma, light to moderate. We're busy on Fairview Avenue, Taylor, the boulevards, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, reporting light to mostly moderate building traffic. We will keep you updated. At McKenna Nissan, you can get up to $5,000 off a new Nissan Frontier. Add the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with Lieutenant Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew. The administration is cracking down on banks lending to people living in the U.S. illegally. The move is part of the president's executive order from May, urging banks to scrutinize customers' citizenship. 12 states challenging Paramount's takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery today, filing a lawsuit that argues the $81 billion mega merger would extinguish competition in Hollywood and threaten jobs across the industry. The Office of California's Attorney General, who's leading the coalition, alleged that the proposed merger would lead to higher prices, lower quality, and less content for film and television. Oil prices jumped following a weekend of attacks in the Middle East, while slumping AI stocks weighed on stock markets as well. Brent crude's price climbed nearly 10% in early trading on Monday. At the closing bell, the Nasdaq was down more than 400 points. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
From weddings and concerts to cookouts and construction sites, TT Porta Toilets has been serving Central Alabama for over 30 years. Whether you need standard portable toilets with wash stations or upscale restroom trailers for special events, the Tierce family has the right solution for every occasion. So when you're planning your next big event or project, make it easy on yourself. Call 285-5513 or visit ttportatoilet.com. TT Porta Toilets. Clean, convenient, dependable.
Today's show is brought to you by Hot Summer Concert Tours. Is it just me, or does Motley Crue's Vince Neil always appear to be sweating Jack Daniels?
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has named Darlene Graham Nardone as her late brother Lindsey Graham's temporary replacement in the U.S. Senate. Graham died at age 71 over the weekend. Nardone will serve the remaining months of his term, which ends in January. A special election next month will determine the new Republican nominee for Graham's seat. A federal immigration officer fatally shot a motorist in Maine on Monday, the second time in a week. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents have used deadly force. Senator Angus King, an independent from Maine, said Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen told him the agent opened fire Monday after the man tried to use his vehicle as a weapon against agents who were pursuing him for deportation. More details at srnnews.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-744-7344. 866-744-7344.
July 13th is Embrace Your Geekness Day, the one day of the year you can let your geek flag fly because nobody can judge you. So what are you waiting for? Put on those elf ears, bust out that lightsaber, start talking Klingon. Warning, risks of celebrating Embrace Your Geekness Day include acne, asthma, latex allergy flare-ups due to Chewbacca masks, sudden isolation and or judgment by friends, family, co-workers, social media, and even Yoda. Yes, loser you are. Because, I mean, good lord, dude, you're a middle-aged man in a wizard hat. Grow the bleep up. Where was I? Oh yeah. Happy Embrace Your Geekness Day.
All right, at 9 minutes after 5 o'clock, I just posted something that's pretty funny. Some friends of Mitch McConnell's visiting him in the hospital. I want to put this up on the ping. Here we go. All right, now we click over here. See, I did this while I was outside. I was not unproductive during that traffic check. And now we can show this to our YouTube viewers. Whoops, I just removed you. That was not my intention.
There we go.
Yeah. See, there's Mitch in his hospital room, and he's being visited by Elvis. So why anybody would doubt that the man is not alive and thriving is beyond me. Just goes to show how much we distrust the government. Time goes by so fast. We were talking about that earlier. Yesterday, I went to, over the weekend, to a birthday party for young Stephen Tomlinson, Jake Quellen's son. And I realized this is the 9th one I've been to. I thought it was number 8.
Time flies.
It just does.
You have quite the social life. I think you did more in this weekend than I've done all summer. Fish fries, birthday parties, documentaries.
Breakfast with a Senator Tuberville.
Yeah, you had a good weekend.
I did have a pretty good weekend. Now that I think about it, of course, trying to get as much done as I can while I can. Let's see, what is that? POTUS is right. Whoever provides secure and safe passage of commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz should be compensated for this service. Iran has always been guardian of the strait and will remain so forever. 20%, of course, is too much. We will be fair.
Yeah. It's a pissing contest now who controls the straits. And it's like, okay, how are you going to control the straits? With what Navy?
Yeah. Isn't it at the bottom of the,
or
what they call Davy Jones' locker?
Yeah. They're disruptive, but ultimately we have the force to be able to impose blockades and ensure freedom of navigation.
And we are going after them again for the 3rd night in a row.
Yep.
Here's the thing. We keep bombing and bombing. What are we bombing? What's left to bomb?
We're hitting, so they're replenishing their supplies, their missiles, their capabilities. We're not hitting the right targets, in my opinion. The ones that actually would hit home, that Hiroshima and Nagasaki moment. I'm not saying we should use an atomic bomb, but you need to hit them hard enough where they capitulate and say, okay, so we surrender. If you just couple missiles here and there.
Couldn't we target places that would literally cut them off?
Yes.
I mean,
we have the capabilities to literally, and he's threatened it. I just don't know why they're just not finishing it.
Because people have been happy to see gas prices coming down. David tells us they're going to pop back up again. and nobody wants to see a number 4 in front of their
No.
gallon of gas, and that could be a direct consequence of just not getting it over with, which seems now like the inevitable course. And I just hate the way that would play into these little demo commies and their affordability issue. When they, in fact, where were they with the gas prices during Biden's administration? I bought gas for $2.42 the last weekend before Trump.
Wow.
Yeah. And within a year, it was into the 350s. And I don't recall all the shrieking and, wailing wall pounding going on then. But that was so it was for good reason. What? I don't understand that at all. And now Gavin Newsom says that all the regulations in California, that's what made Elon Musk a trillionaire. If they hadn't had all those regulations, Elon would have never come up with things like the Tesla and stuff. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
You talk about delusional. The sad part is there's too many stupid people left that will believe that. I came up with an old Ann Landers thing today. Dear Ann, I'm an English teacher. My students are reading George Orwell's 1984. I'm having a difficult time explaining communism, socialism, and fascism without giving a time-consuming history lesson. I recall you printed a humorous explanation these concepts using cows. Will you print it again?
Is this what you were alluding to earlier in the show?
No, that
okay.
was something else.
Okay.
That was truly profound.
Yeah.
But socialism is voted in, communism is by force.
Yeah.
Socialism, you have 2 cows, give 1 cow to your neighbor. Communism, you have 2 cows, give both to the government, and they may give you some milk.
Yeah.
Fascism, you have 2 cows, you give all the milk to the government, and the government sells it. Nazism, you have 2 cows, the government shoots you and takes both cows. Anarchism, you have 2 cows, keep both cows, shoot the government agent, and steal another cow. And capitalism, you have 2 cows, sell 1, buy a bull.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an oversimplification, but
That's good.
But the thing is, we're just not. We have at least 3 generations of totally delusional, undereducated kids. And by the way, in addition to that, we got our national report card last week. We're doing a lousy job. They cannot function in the real world. They can't read at level. They can't do math, basic fundamental math. So what are they doing for all those years?
Yeah.
From kindergarten through 12th grade? Somebody please explain that to me, because it's a national tragedy.
Time to bring back the civics class.
You know what? That's a great idea, except I want to know who's teaching the
Right.
civics.
Yeah.
Delkin Tomlinson, Stephen is Jacqueline's son, and she would have been an incredible mom during the baby boomer era when most moms had 2 or more kids to manage a large family. She's absolutely amazing. But that's part of what makes her such an incredible counselor in her law firm of Delkin Tomlinson. Saw Dana over the weekend, too. These 2 have helped so many go through a family crisis. Could be divorce, could be somebody from the past, could be somebody trying to change an existing custody arrangement or look for more money, whatever it is. These are the things that hit closest to home and can turn you inside out, put you in an emotional condition that makes you your own worst enemy, managing your own crisis. The recommendation is that you reach out to the experience and wisdom these 2 bring to the table, which is extensive, hundreds of cases tried, helping execute. The thing is, you come to them in crisis, give it to them. That's what they're there for. Let them manage the situation for you, and then you just focus on yourself. Don't lose your own situation in the process, because you can't concentrate at work and you end up losing a job. These kinds of things have happened, and that just makes everything so much worse. It's great to have people who can look you in the eye and say, here's where you're at, here's where we're going to go, and here's how we're going to get there. That's legal leadership at its best. And there's nothing like that confidence instilled by a consultation with Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson. They are 2 amazing women. For a consultation, reach out at 819-4810. I urge anybody who knows somebody going through that kind of a family crisis, pass that number along to them, 819-4810 here in the 334, or direct them to this web address, thealabamafamilylawyers.com, for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Off to the traffic dungeon, Rich's forecast next.
Well, a lot of folks getting off work, and we're seeing really busy conditions on most of our roads around Montgomery, like Vaughn and Taylor, Fairview Avenue, Norman Bridge. We've also got a good bit of traffic on the boulevards, I-65 and 85. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting the same busy building afternoon traffic. We will keep you updated. High school students, Trenton State Community College Dual Enrollment Program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Now open from 6 to 5. Foggy or drafty windows? Alabama Wholesale Lumber's got energy-efficient replacements that'll save you money. Call their millwork pros today at Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue well into the evening hours tonight. The storms will be random, but some of the storms could put on quite a show. Low temperature tonight in the lower 70s. Again, tomorrow, a better than normal chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Tuesday's high held down by clouds and showers, 87. And back to a more routine pattern, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures back in the lower 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Luke Wire.
With the seasons changing, your HVAC system is working overtime. Call Luke Wire today to schedule a tune-up with one of their expert technicians to keep your system running efficiently and reliably. Keep your home comfortable all season long. 24-hour emergency service available. License number 22154.
Call Luke Wire right now.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension of only sleight of hand, but no mind. A journey into a dubious land whose boundaries are that of imagination. The signpost up ahead warns of a sharp turn to the left. You've just entered the liberal zone.
And will that be all for you today? No. Give me all your money. Here, take it all. Take it, please, please. My gift to you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this security camera videotape clearly shows the defendant, John Taylor, robbing the grab-and-go market at gunpoint. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Just a moment. Did you have permission from the defendant to videotape him?
Well, no, Your Honor.
Then I'm afraid I'll have to disallow this videotape to be used against the defendant, since you willfully violated his constitutional right to privacy in public places. Case dismissed.
Excuse me, Your Honor, what constitutional right to privacy in public places?
Oh, don't you know? It's all the rage in France right now. In fact, just the other day, I was talking to my good friend, Judge Pierre Fragois, and he said...
Brian Jones, a lonely city prosecutor, has just had his world turned upside down by a crazy judge with a living constitution. Something which only makes sense in the liberal zone.
I've always had an issue with the term, the Supreme Court's job is to interpret the Constitution. No, it's not.
To uphold.
Yeah. And they make it sound like we're reading hieroglyphics here. We got to see what this symbol and that symbol means relative to this case. And all of that BS is planted into the mushy heads of our school kids in public schools, which is why they're doing so miserably. I mean, it's probably our greatest national embarrassment. But, you know, while everybody lives their life, has a good time once in a while, tries to take care of their family, we're not watching. And they know that. And that's how these bureaucracies get infiltrated. Keep waiting for Linda she was appointed to basically get rid of the Department of Education. What do we need it for? It's a money laundering thing. Let the states keep their money and run their own education systems. They don't need any help from Uncle Sam. Got a clip here with Jesse Waters that I wanted to give a quick listen to. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's so true. Everything he says is 100% true, yet it looks like she's either going to get another term. boy, the media has just snuffed him out like a cigarette butt in an ashtray. How sad. Somebody with real ideas that actually wants to help and gets that kind of treatment. It just doesn't make any sense.
My brother-in-law is visiting from California. He's a Army vet and he's a VA doctor out in LA. And I was asking him about that, situation. And I didn't know this, but in California, they send everyone a mail-in ballot. Everyone. So, I said, hey, don't you think it's strange that, Pratt, was toe-to-toe with Bass, and then all of a sudden, a week later, he gets no more votes, and this, third gal, all of a sudden, she's now in a runoff with Bass.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, a lot of people send in mail-in ballots, and if they come in late, and I was like, well, mail-in ballots should be reserved for very few cases. But they send them out to everyone, and there's no voter ID as far as. So when you're getting these mail-in ballots, who do you know filled them out? Who do you know who they came from? How is their election, integrity there? And so it's upsetting. Yeah, he was speaking the truth, and I think he had real ideas, like you said, and now he's snuffed out.
Yeah, the media still. We always point out, the ratings for CNN. There, it's like watching what's a creature that fights ferociously to survive, even though it has no value. The ratings are supposedly real low on CNN and MS Now, except for Rachel Madcow, and yet their messaging still seems to get through to somebody. Not everybody's watching Fox News, which is unfortunate. Not that they're perfect, but
I think I read a poll that most younger generations, they get their news through like X and social media, and it's not mainstream. It's interesting.
This is Darlene Graham, Lindsay's sister, is going to be taking his place until there's a special election appointed by the South Carolina Governor McMaster today. And this headline says that Darlene Graham video is prophetic. So let's see why.
And it's the same with the people of South Carolina. He was passionate about helping people. And you will never find anybody else that cares more and works harder for this state than he does. Lindsay's heart is South Carolina.
Very prophetic indeed. And everything she said is true. He adopted her.
Yeah.
And made that kind of commitment. I mean, I'm so sad that so much of this side of Lindsey Graham was really never covered, not even by Fox. We always knew where he stood on things, and for the most part, seemed like a good Trump supporter. But I got to tell you, when you talk to people who work in D.C. and look at the lunacy that goes on, that people like Chuck Schumer are still bear the power they do, and that Republicans, this is even worse. You expect Democrats to be crazy. But the fact that John Thune cannot inspire the votes, should do it in memory of Lindsay, to pass the frickin' SAVE Act so California can't do what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a mail-in ballot. What kind of insanity is that? That's like everybody gets a 20% coupon from Kohl's too.
Yeah. So in California, you have to register to vote. which requires ID, U.S. citizen, but to actually vote, there is no voter ID. So where's the integrity? It's just common sense. I mean, when I go into the poll, I hand them my driver's license. They look up. Yep, you're registered. You're at the right polling place. Here's your ballot. It just blows my mind that we even have to have legislations for common sense.
Yeah, and there's a state that used to be governed by Ronald Reagan. And law and order was the rule there. I can't think of too many places when I was really young, and you don't know what you're doing in terms of risk. But when I was working for the band, I was in California quite a bit, and I never once felt unsafe anywhere in that entire area, from what was downtown, which has grown some since then, but or at the record company, you just had no, and there were LA police around.
Mm-hmm.
I got a ticket for jaywalking.
Wow.
That's how low the crime problem was. I couldn't believe it, because coming from Chicago, you almost have to jaywalk there. And all I did, I crossed the totally clear boulevard. There was no close call, but an LA cop on a motorcycle stopped me. And I said, well, and he didn't care where I was from. That's the law here. And I got a ticket.
Wow.
Which I failed to pay. And then about 2 or 3 months later, there's a warrant for my arrest, and they're at my aunt and uncle's house looking for me.
What?
Yeah. That was then. Now, help yourself to free dope in MacArthur Park. Somebody's got to redo the lyrics for that song, because apparently it's not, there's a lot more than a cake out in the rain these days. Off to the traffic dungeon at 5:35. News next.
Well, 600 block of East Boulevard, we have the fire department responding to an accident there. And if you're traveling northbound out of Montgomery and Prattville on 65 northbound, up above the Highway 31 exit around mile marker 195, got an accident there. Use caution. We are busy everywhere. We'll keep you updated. There's something about a small town restaurant like the Front Porch Grill. It's a place where you know the people, you can put your feet under the table, and the food is special. It's just like home. The Front Porch Grill at Millbrook, next to Food Outlet. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A weekend crash in Elmore County claimed the life of a Wetumpka man. 69-year-old Gordon Stevenson was killed when his motorcycle was hit by an SUV Saturday morning. The accident happened just before 8 a.m. at the intersection of Marshall and Jug Factory Road, approximately 8 miles east of Wetumpka. Stevenson was pronounced dead at the scene. Montgomery firefighters battled a major fire at a home on Cherry Street Sunday morning. The single-story home between Mulberry and Ann Streets was fully engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived. Crews were able to suppress the bulk of the flames before entry could be made into the structure. Thankfully, no one was inside the house. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Construction is reportedly on schedule for the multi-million-dollar renovation project at the Montgomery Zoo. The Montgomery City Council approved the $4.2 million plan to update the zoo's entrance last spring. The project includes new administrative offices, ticket windows, a gift shop, and restrooms. Construction is expected to be completed sometime later this summer. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation. Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our better than normal rain chances continue well into the evening hours tonight. The storms will be random, but some of the storms could put on quite a show. Low temperature tonight in the lower 70s. Again, tomorrow, a better than normal chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Tuesday's high held down by clouds and showers, 87. And back to a more routine pattern, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday. High temperatures back in the lower 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Congressman Peter Hoekstra on the House Intelligence Committee has some information about Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib.
Anybody get that name right?
No.
Okay, just asking. I'm pulling up the Rich Thomas weather app because I want to see if any storms have developed here late in the evening.
I don't think much coming through tonight. I think tomorrow, a better chance.
Well, you know, I used to have this. I've seen this phenomenon. I've been here when we've had nonstop, relentless rain, flooding rains. But in many situations, there's this bubble effect over Montgomery.
There is.
And there's a big line of storms out to the west of us. It's moving our way. And guess what? According to the future radar, which can also be hugely unreliable, it's all going to evaporate before it gets here. So we may be done with the rain for at least in this immediate area. There was some stuff. Hang on 1 second. I want to see how Autauga. Yeah, Autauga is going to get some. And so is northern Elmore County. But it looks like it's going to miss the metro city area. So tonight, these 2 special days. As a matter of fact, it's funny. I was in the hospital it was July 10th, 1984 for a test. And the baseball all-star game was on that night. So I had 2 buddies who picked up food, came to my hospital room, and we watched the game on the room TV, which was really cool. And it was the first all-star game where anybody hit a grand slam homer. It was Fred Lynn. Anybody remember that name? These guys have all gotten old all of a sudden. I don't remember when that happened. But it was fun. I watched the whole game, and then Home Run Derby came along a few years later, and that added to the All-Star break. The Derby is tonight. The game is tomorrow. And I'm not nearly as excited as I used to be.
Where are they playing?
Philadelphia, part of the America 250. And that's a good ballpark. Should be a lot of fun. But they keep tampering with these events and weakening them, in my opinion. I know we only have 23 registered baseball fans here, Major League Baseball fans. We've got a lot of Biscuit fans in the River region, but I remember the last year of the old Yankee Stadium, they did the home run derby, and a guy named Josh Hamilton was hitting moonshots, one after the other. It was just blowing the crowd away. He didn't win the derby, but he hit like 28 home runs in one round, and it was so impressive. And that was fun. Then they turned it into this. They look like wood choppers or something out there. Ball comes in, take a swing, another ball comes in. There's no break between pitches.
Right.
They're just swinging and trying to hit as many as they can. And I think a lot of guys got injured doing that. That's not natural.
No.
So we'll see. But I am going to indulge myself tonight. Have a sub sandwich and some chips and some ice cold Diet Coke. And by the way, I'm just going to acknowledge this. And I don't mean to harp on the surgery. We are going to have our Wednesday night gathering at Baumhauer's. But I am on a medication pre-surgical that is just a little bit, let's put it this way. It doesn't add to my usual laser sharp focus. What are some of the, did you hear about the black bear? That story popped, I think, at the end of Business Friday.
Yeah, there was one. It was in front of Forest Avenue where my daughter went to that school. So it was funny seeing a bear where we used to pick up our daughter from school. And it's not just Montgomery. It seems like you're seeing them all over the river region. Like they're saying that it's due to, building new houses and kind of taking away their natural landscape, that they're coming into more populous areas. But
I know they're native to the state, but I did see, because I'm not far from there, I did see forest and game trucks going through the neighborhoods.
That's crazy.
And there's one of the bigger drainage ditches is not far, and I kept taking a look at that thing to see if he might come loping through. They're powerful.
Yeah.
And I've watched them in action in Minnesota when I used to visit my grandmother. She lived in the central part of the state, so they didn't have garbage pickup. They had a garbage dump. And we would go there early in the evening, and the bears...
Yeah, they just religiously dig through those things.
And they were so entertaining. Climbing trees, swiping at each other. I want that, You could watch it for hours and not get bored because they were just so funny. And they're cute. They look like giant dachshunds, some of them.
Yeah.
But they're not pets. And inevitably, did you see the guy that got gored by the bison?
Yeah, he just goes flying in the air and it's chasing him through the trees. And
what are people thinking?
Yeah, to his credit, initially when you see the beginning of the video, he's pretty far away from the bison. Mm-hmm. So I would say, 100 yards, maybe a little bit closer. What you would think is maybe a safe, but man, they can charge at 35 miles an hour. So that 100 yards gets short real quick.
Yeah.
And then where do you go? The dude's running around in the trees.
Man, he was lucky to survive that.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing. When you're going through Yellowstone, you'll see elk and moose, and it's nice that you can see them in their habitat, all natural.
That is one place I have not been. It's on my bucket list. We're trying to make it to Yellowstone.
I recommend it. And if you're into geological phenomenon, there is they had a major earthquake there in 1959 in northeastern Washington state and in western Montana. The guys are Old Faithful. I remember we went there when I was a kid, and it's not quite as prompt as it used to be prior to the earthquake. It still goes up. It can be anywhere from under 60 minutes to a little more than that. It used to be you could set your clock by it, but since the earthquake, it wasn't. But go to where the earthquake really hit hard. This is one of the more memorable parts of that trip, because there were half of a mountain just disappeared. It all came straight down and spread into the ground below. And there's a lake, really cold, where there are floating houses that were just swallowed up by the lake after the hurricane. And I don't think they would let you do it today. But we were able to walk into those places at your own risk, of course, and explore it and see what happened in this giant natural phenomenon. And of course, as cool as Yellowstone is to visit, you don't want to be there. I don't want it erupting during my lifetime, because it could really pretty much destroy the eastern 2/3 of the country, and this far south too. That's how big it is. We just got to hope that it never happens. All right, quick break here at 5:48. We're right back. Greg and Tom.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
I do review everything that comes to me through Facebook Messenger and listener contributions, and I so appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I do have a clip here that I would like to play, which I have not previewed, so I might have to dump out of this at warp speed. This is somebody who went off on the Philadelphia City Council, another one of those great liberal cities.
My name is John McCauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to give something different to Philadelphia, something that y'all are not used to because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. It's not MAGA who's doing all of the carjacking and the shootings. When we talk about ICE, when 78 million people, 7 swing states, including Pennsylvania, we voted for this. We voted for this. We gave a mandate. So I want to sit here and tell U.S. Senator John Fetterman, U.S. Senator Dave McCormick to vote yes and support H.R. 7147. I sit here in disgust as I watch Kendra Brooks, Jamie Guthier hold up pictures of a domestic terrorist, Renee Good. I'd never seen her put up a picture of Dakara Thompson, a 19-year-old who was raped and murdered by an illegal alien and thrown over a bridge. I never seen her put up a picture of Lincoln Riley, who was raped and murdered. I never seen her put up a picture of Larisha Thompson, a mother. I named 2 black women, by the way. And y'all sit here and pander to white liberal women like Renee Good.
Yeah.
Did you speak on the resolution?
I'm speaking on all of it. It's my First Amendment right. I'm gonna speak. It all goes hand in hand.
Just make
because
sure
we
you speak
funded
on
to
the
deport
resolution.
20. We wanted a fund. We want a fund to deport 20 million illegal aliens that was imported in here by the Biden and Harris administration with the help of the cartels. So once y'all stand up for Americans for once, because America comes first.
Why can't we have like 10 million more of this guy?
Yeah.
And he had you see the big doofus running the meeting? You got to address the resolution here.
Yeah.
Is that what we see at our city council meeting?
Absolutely. Our city council president, he just had a little tirade about, he went off on a gal, Angela, who I know well, when she was opposing this $375 million bond, and he does the same thing, you know.
This bond, is that something that we vote yes or no on?
The council will, yeah.
The council will, not us.
The council will vote on it, yep.
And this is for this
convention center, sports complex, yeah.
Yeah, come and have your convention here, and in your spare moments, enjoy all the racial hatred that we promote.
I think the vote will be a week from tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
We got to spend some time on that.
Yeah.
I want cops.
Yep.
Priority 1. Cops, make the city safe. Do I expect that from this mayor? Absolutely not. I'm not delusional. And right now, there's really only one person on the whole damn council that I kind of trust. And Kevin Elkins. Go, baby. You got my vote.
Yep, District 3.
Kevin made a fantastic speech at one of the very first Tea Party gatherings here in town. It was not particularly partisan, but he, as a veteran, had some incredibly good things to say, stuff that everybody can embrace. I hope he still has the passion for that. We got to get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah, we should, and folks should definitely vote for that in District 3 and get out. I think there's like 15 people on the ballot right now for that special election.
Everybody wants to be a city councilman.
I know.
But Kevin's got some equity in this town, name equity.
It's great that people are wanting to serve. It's, you know, I spoke about this weekend, is that our county commissioner, the city councilman, it's a part-time job. They're only paid like $20,000 a year for this. And if you divide the number of hours that they put in, it's a below minimum wage job. So all of these people have full-time jobs and other interests and pulls. And I don't think that they're able to fully give their attention to the city or the county because it's just a part-time gig. It needs to be a full-time job, in my opinion.
Apparently being mayor is only a part-time job. He's never here. He's always off.
But that gets paid very well.
Yeah, that's what I hear. All right, we're going to take our final traffic update before we say goodnight for the evening, friend. 5:55.
Well, our latest accidents, Atlanta Highway in front of Wendy's. That's out near Budget Car Sales. Please use caution there. We also have an accident, 600 block East Boulevard. Fire department responding to that one. That's out near Lagoon Park. We're hoping those two have cleared, but use caution there. Still very busy. Interstates, boulevards around Montgomery, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. At McKenna Nissan, you can save up to $6,000 off Pathfinders and up to $5,000 on Rogues. At the lowest tax rates in Alabama, and it's worth the drive. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Hey, this is Ashley, owner of Pest Pro Services, and I want to help you take back your yard. We protect your outdoor space from mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks so you can enjoy being outside. We treat where mosquitoes live and breed with pro-level care, which means fewer bites, more time outside, and a backyard ready for fun. Give us a call at 265-9990 or visit us at ppsriverregion.com. That's 265-9990 and follow us on Facebook at Pest Pro Services. And remember, when you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV. So